Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. Some more bite down boxing. It's a big day. It's a big weekend tomorrow. And as most big time fights, we have our growing pains with them once they're announced. We find out it's pay-per-view. We find out what the pay-per-view ticket is, and reality starts setting in, of how you're going to watch this fight. Fight week comes, we get all the different coverage here on YouTube, the press conference, from YouTubers. Then we see the press conferences, the face-to-face, the arrival, the grand arrivals, the final press conferences, so on and so forth. Today we have the weigh-in for Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter. So it's exciting. So I'm ramping up my coverage as a result, I guess. One thing I mentioned earlier in the week, or last week, I think it was at the top of the week, on Twitter was, I think I posted an image of the movie poster for the film Mile 22, I think. And I said that I saw a scene in there that I think I could see a similar situation in one of the corners tomorrow night. And the scene that I was referencing or referring to was when I'm about to call the man Marky Mark, when Wahlberg had to go over to Ronda Rousey after she'd been fatally wounded, basically, or critically wounded. Or is that the same thing? Maybe. Severely wounded, and they didn't have the means to get her to, to some medical attention, so it made it fatal. But he walked over to her, looked down at her, realized where the wound was, the reality of the situation with not being able to get her the right level of medical care, and made a decision on the spot that, hey, he showed her the two grenades, and was basically like, you know what that means, right? He said, he beat around the bush and was like, you know what I'm saying with that, right? And, basically it was for her to go out with a boom and take some of them with her. There's nothing we can do. We can't make you better. We can't get you help. Go out with a boom. And I'm just thinking here in this Spence-Porter fight, it's a similar situation. I see a similar situation probably coming up later in the fight, to where Kenny Porter basically has to give Shawn Porter those two grenades and say, hey, we can't make it better. We can't get any more reach. We can't get any more height. We can't summon up any more power. At this point, he might have taken a lot of damage in the earlier rounds, and you got to go all out for it right here, which, in my opinion, is going to play more into the wheelhouse of Spence. And I'm just thinking, like I said, with most of these fights coming down to real estate, where is the area that Porter can dominate, or clearly show levels and clearly convincingly win rounds? I don't see a space on, I don't see an area where he does that. And I could just see it being like Wolverine walking towards Jean Grey when she was becoming Phoenix, or Dark Phoenix, or whatever her name was. And Spence will be charging him. He'll be taking pieces of him away over the course of the fight. One thing we're saying, the Porters are saying that Spence has never been bullied. He's never been backed up. He's never faced what we're going to bring. And that's true to a degree. But it's also true that everybody that Shawn has successfully done that against, he was able to impose that style on those people. We haven't seen him do it to someone that brings the skill set and the measurables and the intangibles that Errol Spence Jr. possesses. And what I'm saying is, it's not going to be a matter of you just charge forward and walk through that door, that front door, kick your feet up on that man's couch, grab his remote control, look in his refrigerator. All of that's not happening, in my opinion, with Errol Spence. It's a difference in getting inside or being mid-range and constantly countering or offsetting, slipping punches, and being where you need to be inside, inside the length, the extended punches of your opponent, like we saw with Andre Ward against Kovalev, like we just saw with Lomachenko and Luke Campbell, like we saw with Canelo Alvarez to a degree against Triple G, but also against the taller Daniel Jacobs. It's something to be inside and not go all the way inside. And it's to stand there and to slip punches and to slip those punches and counter and hit your man with something that he doesn't see. And you got to think here, the left hook to the body is going to be an extremely difficult shot for Shawn to get off because of the positioning, the angling that he would need to be at with Spence's southpaw stance. So again, I don't see him standing in front of Spence, outboxing him at that distance, at that range. I don't see him constantly with ring IQ, with style, with slickness. I don't see him standing in and slipping punches, at the volume that Spence is going to be throwing them at. And I just think in general, Spence's southpaw stance kind of decreases the likelihood of us seeing that type of matchup. And and for Shawn to do what he wants to do, he would have to get inside and get Spence squared up so that he can go to attack, with hooks from both sides, hooks from both hands, to slip off to the side and land the left hook, slip back off to the right. He's doing that against guys like Adrian Granados, a very faded Andre Berto. That's when he was able to do that type of stuff. I don't see him getting Spence to the ropes and getting him squared up and slipping off to the sides, getting that type of work off very often. I just don't. So, like I said at the beginning of this, I just feel like it could be a chance later. It could be a chance or a moment later in the fight when he has to go out in a bang and make himself susceptible to some real heat, and then things could really get interesting there in the final third of the fight. Rounds 10, 11, and 12. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at. That's kind of how I'm seeing it through my lens, and we'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to be talking my talk tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the Pay Me No Mind channel right here. Expecting to have a pretty good guest in to talk about the past and the future a little bit. We'll see if that happens. I still haven't texted my man. But that's all I really wanted to say. I wanted to come back and circle around and kind of elaborate on what I meant by that Mile 22 movie poster with Mark Wahlberg. And then if you saw that movie, the guy that the dude that they grabbed, he actually was a triple agent. At the end of the movie, we found out. So maybe Shawn can be a triple agent. And in some ways, that's what he will need to be, in my opinion, to get this victory tomorrow night. So I think I pretty much hit on most of the stuff I wanted to talk about, man. Let me get on in here, knock out the second half of this day. Speaking of man down, day down, work day down. Hey, bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out.